what? Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let me double check and make sure I'm not doing something that we're not getting feedback here, because I know sometimes... No, okay, all right. Not getting feedback, right? Logan does not like the Cowboys, but he likes Joe Boo Sports Report, okay? So we're sending the shirt to Drew. Is that what I got to do? Come on, Logan. Man, you should have the shirt. You should be the one that's wearing it. So we're here for our usual get beat up with Dan Selio show, and I have no idea what they're talking about today. Jeff Lee, I got my shirt because my name is Jeff. Shout out to Jeff Lee. Those look like boobies and frog eyes. What? What looks like boobies and frog eyes? What are you talking about, Holly? Boobies and frog eyes. Let's see. Sweet Caroline, bum. Oh my God, Holly, why are you talking about Sweet Caroline? They, at the hotel here in the atrium downstairs, they were doing karaoke, the worst karaoke that I've ever heard in my life. And one of the last songs they were just doing was Sweet Caroline. You think I'm bad singing? Hell, I might have been, actually, they might have said, that boy is good if I had been out there, because some of that stuff was really, really bad. Okay, so let me go ahead and enter the studio here with the Dan Selio show so we can start listening to what they got to say.
Boy, I'll hook you up there, man. You guys can sit in your room all night.
Nah, don't get him that, man. Then you'll turn him into a gooner. Leon says, Zay, for $350K, you got to play running back for the Eagles. $350K is fucking light, my guy. Let me get up that number a little bit. You have to have 10 carries versus Baltimore. How many yards you getting? I'll say 10 carries, 4 yards. Give me 10 carries. 22 yards.
Holy cow! Big Z, 10 carries, 22 yards.
Are you kidding me, Leon?
10 carries, 22 yards.
Yeah,
hey, Leon.
Don't even think about texting me, Leon, after that shitty ass take.
Hey, Leon, 2.2 yards a carry. There you go, baby.
That would be better than maybe Will Shipley would get.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm messing everybody who doesn't know how to take a joke.
I love it.
Look at Alexander's talking crazy. All right, Abe.
Really?
I know.
Hey, thank you, man.
Welcome to a hypothetical that'll never.
Shit.
Boy.
Kimberly says, this conversation is why I'm concerned at cornerback. Kimberly, you got a little bit of Selio in you where you're just
you're gonna have some problems.
You're just inherently concerned. I mean, I know you were waiting for the collapse last season. You know, you got a little bit of Selio in you.
You see
let those Selio-ized gummies wear off.
Hey, Kim, everybody's now a little bit concerned about Keely Bingo. And all of a sudden, they're going to hang on those takes. Boy, I tell you, I feel like Shohei fucking Ohtani already, baby. I got a good year coming here, baby. You bet. Hey, I'm like Mark. By the way, I got to hand it to Mark. He's in the green room, folks. So he's ready for you guys. He's got his hand on his forehead already. And after all the injuries in Dallas, woo, baby.
I'll tell you what, if I had that Dallas O-line I was running behind, I'd probably get negative 22 yards.
Dude, I tell you what.
Look at Hogan. He says I'd get negative yards after Hurts fumbles the handoff.
Oh, my God. Wait, who has a better O-line than the Cowboys?
Right,
you ready?
So I can see how this
University of Lehigh.
Wait, I'll tell you why I said 22. Well, I'll tell you why I said 22.
Why did you say so? 10 carries, 22 yards.
I know Saquon's a lot faster than me, but he had 3.8 yards a carry before contact last year.
Yeah, so that's what.
Can I get 1.6 and muscle my way another 0.6? Come on, man! I'm getting it in me. It's about the heart.
Wait a minute here.
It's about the heart.
Wait a minute here. Think about this. If you fell right after contact, you'd have 3.8.
Yeah. Well, I'm not as fast as Saquon, so I'm not getting
That's 40 yards.
I'm not getting a 3.8. I'm getting a 2.2. This is why I said my number. All right.
22K.
And then I'm calling Roseman at the end of it, Leon, and I'm getting a bonus because that's some good work right there.
And then, folks, they're taking a fucking gurney out there and taking them off the field.
I'll be in the hospital for the next year. Chris says, I still believe we need to add a veteran edge for depth and hopefully a Samuel and Simmons.
So
I feel a lot better going into the season.
I'll tell you what, man, the edge thing, you don't need it. I've been telling you since you didn't need a superior pass rushing edge. These guys just have to set the edge for Vic.
He is taking
Don't worry about that other shit, man. You don't need a Trey Hendrickson. You don't need that. For what, Xander? The guy had 17 and a half sacks.
No, we're not going for him. I mean, I think he's saying, I don't know, Simmons and Sam. I don't know who he's saying. Chris, I appreciate it. I appreciate the membership, bro. 8 months. Thank you, bro, for being here. Chris, you know we love you. Thank you, man. Brian says, what up, B-Pump? He says, told you casuals. My seventh heaven is freaking elite. You bums cannot keep up with elite ball knower B-Pumper.
Oh, they're feeling good, aren't they?
Is he talking about Keely?
He's talking about Keely Ringo.
Hey, you know what Keely Ringo is? He's a dude that's got a twitch. He looks like he's got epilepsy like this. Watch. That guy's running. What's
Big
that?
Pumper. You're slowly pulling me in, Pump. Let's see. Kyle Kokorski says, I just realized the first month all the teams we are playing have one thing in common.
Great quarterback.
Questionable offensive line.
Yeah. And one thing they all have in common. Questions at the corner and safe.
Lamar says, are the Eagles top 5 in every position in the NFC? I don't know. I can't do that off the top of my head.
On offense. Defensive tackle.
Probably not at like safety.
So I think
Linebacker,
I'm going to play this that, we've got
linebacker,
no
they
chance
definitely
in the
are.
world. We're just happy to be on the field.
Your boy Nicole's on the way out,
how are you doing? In order to be tough,
think that's
you've
all
got
of
to be
them.
physical practice.
Hey, Jacoby's on the way out. All right.
I know he is. There's just not. It's bleak for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I like him too. It's a problem.
When you go on a date, like get this, me, you, and Philly.500, and then there's Mark. There's 3 chicks in the room. Sorry, Mark, you're on.
I'm used to being the winner in that scenario.
Yeah, Big Z. We'll catch you later on. By the way, show tomorrow later, right?
Later. I'll be live in the morning though, because what could I do without the great people of Jacob Nation at 8 in the morning? I'll be there live. So we'll talk to John a little bit in the morning, and then we'll have the after practice coverage as well.
You got it. All right, Big Z. We'll catch you later on, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All right,
Here we
man.
go.
Make sure you guys catch it out. All right. So, I text Mark, and he goes, yeah, sure. I was like, dude, it's got to be bad in Dallas when you got the owner taking a shit. Now, what did he do to the corner? Did he deduct him $500,000? Because he didn't work out in Dallas?
Yep.
What are you doing? Then you're telling your guys, hey, just because we have him, we don't have him, we're not sure to have him. Then he's throwing shade on Dak. This is the offensive line's getting banged up. Man, I give this guy a lot of credit. He's like walking to the electric chair for us, and I appreciate him doing this. But then there's Philly. Hey, get this. Keely Bingo.
Ooh.
Woo! How about
Keely
the safety
Bingo.
position?
Oh.
So let me get this right before I bring my fellas in. You drafted a 3rd, a 2. You got rid of Gardner Johnson. This guy, Kenyon Green's not going to make the football
Your
team.
secondary is ass.
And the problem that you have right now is at the safety position. I'm more convinced that you're going to cover a Jomo with Milton, and also on the other side, I think you're going to get it done with Jalix Hunt and Josh Sweat. I'm more concerned. You really think that Keely Ringo is an upgrade from Slay and Isaiah Rogers to Keely Ringo and Mac Williams?
I apologize, people, that it made the feed.
Questions to be answered. And without further ado, we bring our guys in. The man from the Dallas Cowboys, who, boy, I'll tell you what, they make news every day. He is the great Mark Holmes. And without further ado, we bring in the champ Philly.500. Here he is right here, man. Hello, fellas. How you guys doing, man?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
All right, Mark. Your overall takeaways so far, without me polluting a question towards you, don't look so pissed off. Every time you come on this fucking show, you look pissed off all the time. So let me ask you, man, your first week of practice, your takeaways have been what with your Cowboys?
Chicks dig the deep ball. And right now, we are going to be able to get deep with CD and George Pickens. They are the real deal. Donovan EZ is going to be a great pass rusher. And Jerry and Stephen Jones are freaking ass.
Okay. Philly, your assessment under the first 5 days of practice, you had first full day of pads. Your takeaways after the first week.
Well, before I say that, I got to say I really enjoyed Mark's video about how Ezra Raku is going to be better than Abdul Carter. I thought that was wishful thinking at best.
How different is that than some of the shit that we get from the talking heads?
That's like the Parsons is already better than Lawrence Taylor thing you tried to throw on everybody a few years ago.
It got you to watch, so funny. There's that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. As far as the Eagles training camp, I think, I think there's some really good things going on. I think like Moro Jomo, I think Hunt, I think the defensive line is going to be good. I think they're going to be fine. But, Jahad Campbell, it sounds like this guy's a stud, okay, from everything we're hearing. I mean, Jeremiah Trotter is having a good camp, Sills, and this kid is even flashing above him. But I do think there are two legitimate concerns that have emerged that we've got to figure it out. To me, more so safety than anything else. I think safety is the biggest question mark right now going forward.
Okay, well, let me ask you something here about the safety position, like you just said. Or, let me go corner here, and I want to ask you about Howie Roseman and Vic Fangio. And Vic said something that was kind of eye-opening here. He went just like this. He said, Howie brought the guy in. I don't know anything about the guy. And, I don't really pay attention to the guy. And there he is, I don't know who the guy is. Basically made me feel like, Howie brings these guys in and signs them without even giving me any kind of intel of who he is, because he said this, I don't really know anything about the player. I mean, was that kind of a shot a little bit across the bow of frustration? I thought it was a little bit frustrating that he put a guy on his roster and put a guy on his football team that he really doesn't have any intention playing, it sounds, because either that was hard love, Philly, that was either hard love, or I thought that was a little frustrating.
Well, I mean, this is something we've heard that Howie has done in the past. This is nothing new. He will oftentimes he will take and he will seek out Vic Fangio's advice of what he's looking for and stuff. I mean, we all know that Vic was very happy and was very into getting Jahad Campbell in the draft. But I mean, if you look at the defensive end that they got from the Jets and traded to the Niners, he stinks. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Bryce Huff was not a Vic Fangio guy. He was a Howie guy. So Howie will make moves on his own if he feels necessary. That's just something that he does. So this has always been the case with Howie. Fortunately, for the most part, it's worked. 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
It's worked. There's no doubt. That's that way of doing business. Mark, let me throw this. What's going on? So Stephen Jones, Trayvon Diggs, $500,000 salary reduction, and for him not working out in Dallas, I mean, well, let me, before we rip it or not rip it, are they trying to instill a little bit more discipline with guys where they want to have guys in the building? Because look at the Eagle guys. The Eagle guys are all there working out together. They're a unit that work together. Is that something that they're trying to do?
Well, definitely. First of all, let me apologize. I'm actually on vacation, and so we're having a hell of a thunderstorm out there.
I got you. All good, brother.
If you're seeing flashing and stuff, I mean, it's coming down cats and dogs right now.
Thank you for doing this, bro.
I thought Mark was uploading
here's
videos.
something that's interesting. Before I get into Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones finding Diggs, I think is definitely, this is his last year. And this is the last year where it's big money. There's an out next year. They weren't happy with his recovery work, and they said that he didn't work as hard as they thought he should have last year getting on the field, and they think that ended up leading to the issues that he had this year, and they wanted him to work with the facilities and the trainers to make sure that he busted his ass. But here's something that was interesting that just happened just a few minutes ago. There was another fight in practice, okay? And we know how it is. Nobody wants to practice in summertime and stuff, and guys are fighting for their lives and everything else, and so you get heated. Brian Schottenheimer kicked a guy out, and he's literally got them running sprints on the side, sideline to sidelines and stuff to make up for this thing. He is literally really trying to instill discipline and let you know, I'm your best friend, but when you F up, you're going to have ramifications for those things. And I'm going to say that the Cowboys are trying to turn the page and create a better culture. The only problem is the culture at the top is doing the same stupid shit that they've done before. They're trying to say, we want you to be accountable and working out and this, that, and the other, but they're not holding themselves accountable for their mistakes and shortcomings too. So it's really kind of talking out of both sides of your neck.
How about this though, too, Mark? There's real conversation about Saban joining the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. This is becoming more of a conversation here, and here's where he would have the advantage in the draft. Remember something, just like with Pete Carroll and Jimmy Johnson and any coach that goes from the college ranks, what's the number one advantage you have? Is that you know where all these guys have been recruited, you know all the younger guys, you know how they would be in the draft, okay? And what's the most important thing you did down in Alabama is hiring a coaching staff and getting a coaching staff in there. You're smiling, you're not buying it.
Saban's coming in as what?
Here's what's crazy.
That would be the question too, Philly.
I'm going to put this in here with you bringing in Deion and Sador Sanders, okay? There's always some crazy shit about the next guy coming in is going to be Deion, and they're going to draft Sador, and they're going to move on from Dak Prescott. If I had $1 for every one of those, I'd have a couple $100 at least. So, you might have a championship
a lot sooner, too.
Well, here's what I know, okay? The Joneses don't want to pay somebody not to coach. So they will hold on to somebody just to go ahead and say, I spent all my money on that guy. So it's figuring that he's going to be out one and done. I don't think that would happen.
All right, let me go to you now, Philly. Let me ask you this, because Farzetta brought this up yesterday, and you responded to this, and nobody has been able to answer one of our questions here. So let me say this. First and foremost, let's start with Kevin Patullo. And I'm going to go here. So you have 5 new-looking faces on defense, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a bunch of question marks. Not that they're bad players, but still, you want to know if Nolan's going to play a full year. You've got to see if Moro Ajomo's had a great camp, is going to play all year long and cover those 1,100 reps. But bunch of question marks in the secondary. Okay, explain this to me then. How is that defense ahead of that offense with all those personnel guys that you have that are first-round picks, the best players in the draft, the best players in the league? How is that inexperienced defense ahead of the offense? Now, I get it. First start of camp, defense is always ahead. But that offense – how is that offense ahead? Is it Kevin Patullo?
Obviously, it's Kevin Patullo. He stinks, Sills. I mean, what else could it be, right?
No, you're going. I
don't know.
You went off the cliff. I'm asking you, how can that defense with all those question marks?
It's very hard. It's very hard to sit there and you talk about a team that is basically a run-first team going into these practices where you're not hitting, you're not running the ball, your offensive line, you're not tackling, you're not doing any of those things. I just think it's very hard to judge. I think the way they practice nowadays, it favors the defense a lot of times. We hear a lot of things from practice coming out, and they're not 11 on 11s. They're in drills sometimes. So this guy did it, beat this guy, and it's like one-on-one drills. I just think that it's very hard to judge after the first 2 weeks. Now, maybe there will be issues. I don't know, but I don't think that it's something that we should really worry about to this point.
Okay, well, to this point, follow me too, Mark, on this, because it's going to be interesting, I think, how you answer this. They've been 11 personnel the majority of the camp. Vic said it the other day. We haven't been able to play in any base. So what they're doing is, in your opinion, they're working on the passing game. Is that correct?
Yeah, I probably think so, yeah. It's easier to work in the passing game, Sills. You're not going to work on the run game when you can't hit and there's no live hitting. I think it's very hard to work on the running game in that situation.
They're working on the passing game, which means they're throwing the ball more, and yet the defense is ahead of them because the offense is wobbling because they're throwing the football. Interesting. So, again, my point would be this. Okay, so they're trying to throw the ball, and yet they're not being consistent in the passing game during training camp versus a very inexperienced defense. Is that correct? That's what you just said.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Wait a minute. With all-world Jalen Hurts, the greatest quarterback of all time, and with all of that, you're telling me that they're having problems?
Hey, look, we can talk about
problems. You mean that the ball is actually touching the ground?
After clip of Dak Prescott interceptions in camp. So let's forget about that.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
That's Cowboys. We know we suck. You're the greatest.
Yeah, that's true.
The king
do suck.
Shit up there. And you're telling me that Jalen Hurts and the offense is struggling against that secondary?
Guess what? I'm going to tell you something very, very very big. Here's something that you might not know. It's practice. That's when you want to throw. That's when you want to have problems. So not in the during the season.
So if Dak throws an interception in practice, he sucks. When your guy does, it's just practice, and that's when you want to. I'm sorry, you're talking out of both sides of your neck, buddy. Both sides.
Dak is a problem when he chokes in the playoffs.
Oh man,
that's when. That's
Philly,
why he
don't sweat, man. Don't let us see you sweat.
But here, Mark, to you.
Sweat. I got a ring.
What he just, by the way, true. What he just said, though, I'm gonna bring this to you, and first I'll ask you, then I'll go to Philly on this. So they don't play their players in the exhibition season. That's not what they do. Mm-mm. They use the controlled scrimmages, and they use practice. To what he just said, and they use camp. To evaluate players, to figure out who's the starter is. So when people go like this in Philly, that, hey, guess what? Okay, it's only practice. Well, that's how you're picking your fucking team. You're picking your team out of practice because you don't use the exhibition season. You don't play the guys. That is, by the way, it's working. So when practice, don't you agree, Philly?
Wait,
practice in Philly.
But it's what, Sills?
It's working. But no. But my point is, you're belittling practice when they don't.
No, I'm not belittling practice. What I'm saying to you is that if you're going to have mistakes, if you're going to have things happen, let it happen in practice. That's what's most important. To me, it's impossible to know what the offense is working on, what specific things.
Me too.
And how, when the defense is watching the offense run the same plays, practice the same things, sometimes they get tipped off a little bit to what's going on too. I just think that after 2 weeks of camp, it's just a little too hard to push the panic button. That's all I'm saying.
But can I ask a question?
Sure.
So let me see if I get this straight. So are we saying that the Eagles' offense is struggling going against a secondary?
No, I wouldn't use
secondary that's struggling too.
Wait a minute, Mark. I wouldn't use the word struggling. I would use the word inconsistent.
Okay. Against a secondary that's suspect.
You don't know what they're putting in. They got a brand new coordinator.
I think two areas that are suspect: safety and corner.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking for a friend.
Hey, didn't Trey Hendrickson, didn't he report today to camp?
He did.
Negotiations are going so well. So he's about to get a big payday as your boy Micah Parsons.
He's trying to restart the negotiations because here's the reality.
He's going to get paid
$50,000 a day. Just same thing with Terry McLaurin. They haven't gotten a deal done on those either, but it's $50,000 a day.
Hendricks is going to get paid before Micah.
How about this, though, Mark?
Yeah.
According to Micah Parsons and his people, he's saying that the contract, and I wrote it down there, he's saying that the contract negotiations with the Cowboys
are not
is walking backwards. They're going backwards. They're not getting any closer to any kind of deal. Is that media talk?
Micah Parsons.
Is that media talk?
That was Adam Schefter that came out with that one.
Okay. Is that so? It's media talk. You think they're closer than what the media is reporting?
If you want to know the truth, here's what was really interesting was I went back to last year with Micah Parsons basically saying what CeeDee Lamb was holding out. We all understand the deal here. It's just a matter of time. CD will be there week 1. He'll be a Cowboy for life. And things got ugly last year. We talked about trading him, and the Joneses weren't going to pay him. They're going to make him go on the 5th-year option. All of a sudden, lo and behold, right after camp, which was I think the 16th of August, they finally got the deal done. Interestingly enough, on the 14th of August is when they got Zach Martin done. This is Jerry and Stephen Jones enjoying the limelight of everybody in the media kowtowing to them and watching their every move. It is freaking insane, but it's a soap opera. It's not about football.
How's Dak doing in camp?
Dak is looking good. Dak is moving well. There's no problems with the hamstring and things, and he is getting deep passes, deep with CD and George Pickens, which are now the
well, maybe you should be concerned about the
here.
secondary.
Well, Philly, why don't you like Dak?
I don't dislike.
He doesn't
Dak.
like
I
anything Cowboys. He cannot say anything good about the Dallas Cowboys.
I just do not like that he gets off the hook and gets excuses for every year when he shouldn't. If he was in Philly, Sills, you know it. If he was in Philly, do you think we would put up with that 10 years of losing?
And
no.
With what you guys do to support your team and your quarterback, you're right. He wouldn't.
Wait a minute, Mark. I gotta say, Mark.
What we do to support
Mark. I gotta say it though, Mark. That guy Jalen Hurts still gets shit on.
He does.
Even when he wins.
Yes, he does. He does.
Okay. I mean, if Dak Prescott had done the things that with a team, if he had done the things that Jalen has accomplished, you would be talking about him being in the conversation with Troy Aikman.
Well, speaking of that, you notice his quote yesterday about fatigue. He got that from Jimmy Johnson, right?
I know he did.
And Jimmy Johnson got it from George Patton. Just say it.
So cool.
Okay.
Are you really that worked up about a quote?
I'm just saying
you really are worried. That really pissed you off.
You know what's funny about you Eagle fans? Your obsession with the Dallas Cowboys and constantly trying to put us down. You won the Super Bowl. We are like a flea. You shouldn't be even concerned with us. But yet, here it is. I can go through on my channel right now and 30% of the fans in here are freaking Eagle fans here. You're looking for validation from the Dallas Cowboys.
No. What they're doing is they're responding to your 9 videos about the Eagles every day. You call the Eagles out, you go, "Oh my God, why are these Eagle fans coming on here?"
I don't listen.
Because you're doing Eagle videos.
Hold on. Listen, you just responded about me talking about Abdul Carter, right? I challenge you to find me a video other than Jalen Hurts was stealing Jimmy Johnson's quote. I ain't said.
You want me to go back on your channel?
I'm sitting here getting my
you want me to find
from
all
you
the
guys
videos that you
I haven't been paying attention to you guys. You don't register in my mind. I'm only here because Dan Selio has never heard of Mark Holmes. That's the only reason I'm here.
I couldn't tell you one Dak Prescott. I couldn't tell you one thing Dak Prescott has said in camp. And you're coming on here quoting Jalen, talking about Jalen Hurts quotes. Whose head?
Let me ask you this, Mark. Are you more concerned about Dak this year or Brian Schottenheimer?
I feel good actually about Brian Schottenheimer.
Okay, why?
And Nick Sirianni wannabe.
You know what? I can actually listen to Brian Schottenheimer and not want to toss my Italian sub. Okay, he is actually legitimately a coach that you can actually believe into. You actually listen to him. First of all, he's actually explaining things to you that you can actually understand. And the players are buying into it. And that is thing number one. If the players don't believe in what you're teaching, you got no chance in hell. So the players, and this is where it's actually kind of interesting, and I wonder if this is Jerry and Stephen Jones playing psychology because they're becoming the bad guys. everybody's rallying behind Micah Parsons, and it's us versus the front office, i.e., like the movie Major League. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, and if they can put in the locker room a Jerry Jones in a bathing suit covered up with scraps, and every time they win one, they pull it off, I will literally die. But they are setting up where it is now becoming a team.
Wait. What, Philly? What's so funny here, man?
I'm just thinking, like, every time I come on with Mark, I come out of the show hating Dallas even more. Like, just when I think I can't hate that
I'm doing my job
anymore, he comes on and says stuff. I hate that team.
Oh my God! I am doing my job.
Oh my God! Why?
This guy is so delusional, Sills. He makes 1,000 videos about the Eagles all the time.
I don't.
Everybody will tell you. Then he gets mad because the Eagle fans respond. Of course they're going to respond. Of course they are. And then he's like, oh, well, I didn't do nothing. He's so full of shit. It's not even funny.
Wait a minute. And you don't sit here and go, Mark Holmes said this, Mark Holmes did that.
I crush you all the time.
Right.
Because you need it to happen. I have to keep you honest. That's my job on YouTube.
Wait, Philly. You tell me on a scale of 1 to 10. How important, like, watch this. Do you not agree, Philly, that the number one game on the schedule for the Cowboys this coming season will be the 2 Eagle games? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. For you, how important is the Eagle game or the Eagle Cowboys game on your schedule this year?
It's just like any other division game.
What to you would be the most important game that would tell you more about your football team? The Cowboys are going to have to say the Eagles, because I'll ask Mark this question. For you, on your schedule, what game will tell you all you need to know?
I really think that those two early games to me
Chiefs?
are going to come. Chiefs and Rams, because everybody's saying the Rams are going to compete with us and they're going to, I think if we come out and beat that Rams at week 3, then I know, we're clearly the best team in the NFC. I know Detroit's good, and we'll deal with them when we deal with them. But I think those 2 games are important, because I think if the Eagles come out and they go 3-1, 4-0, I think the league is in trouble. If they're going to lose, they're going to lose early. That's what I think.
All right. For you, Mark, is the Eagle game the most important game? Is it going to be the Kansas City game later in the year? Detroit? Washington, maybe?
Okay.
What would you put? What would you put as the most important game in your schedule?
I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound convoluted. I can't even pronounce the word. But the Cowboys game against the Eagles could be a season maker, but it won't be a season breaker. And the reason I say that is if they come out week 1 and somehow beat the Eagles, the amount of momentum that it would give them, especially going against the Giants in week 2 and the Bears and Green Bay and the Jets, it will build some confidence knowing that there's going to be players that we're going to be getting later on, Overshown, Diggs, Savon Ravel and stuff, that will actually start to get better before we get into that stretch. If we lose to the Eagles, which should happen, let's be real here. You guys have the much better team. You're coming off the Super Bowl and things. You still have the soft point of the schedule where you can start getting some momentum and things. But that's where, to me, it is a really key game. You've got to at least compete and not get blown out of the place.
I don't think week 1 game is ever the be-all, end-all, Sills. Even though it's Cowboys.
No, I think it's more important to them, like you said, than it is to you, though.
Yeah, I agree.
How about this, though? You tell me this. I asked Xander this earlier. Why will these first 4 games be any different than last year's 4 games? And you won a Super Bowl a year ago. Why are you going to try? I mean, do you think it'll be better? Last year you were 2-2, and you went on to win the Super Bowl. You've got more question marks on one side of the ball. But then again, you had the same kind of question marks heading into last year the same way when you were 2-2. What will be different this year versus last year?
Well, I think that the identity changed after that fourth game versus Tampa. Right, they went in a bye week. They came out and they started running the ball. I mean, listen, like why I'm not so concerned with Patullo is because I really think that people know what we are. We kind of know what we're going to do and what we are, and I think having that identity earlier should make it easier for us to have a better start. Now, I think the first 4 games we got some tough games. But after you get through that, I think I think everything's pretty much winnable. So I think because of the identity that we have with this team, we know what we do well. I think that'll be the big difference maker.
So you could possibly see the Eagles being undefeated. Mark, that you got New York, you got Chicago, you got Green Bay. You feel you could be 3-1 after the first 4?
Yeah, I do. I think we actually have a real good chance of that. And, the funny thing is when you're looking at a schedule and stuff, right now you look at teams and say, oh, well, they're going to be good. But, there's always the turnover. Everybody's been talking about how great Minnesota is. Well, J.J. McCarthy, I'm old enough to remember when they had actually an interception count on Dak Prescott in training camp. Right now, J.J. McCarthy is averaging about 5 interceptions a practice right now. And that team looks terrible. You got Ben Johnson with the Bears looking like they're a JV squad and things. So you don't know who's going to be good from one year to the next. Look at San Francisco from the year before to last year. So you just never know.
Is there one player that you've seen in camp that you think will have a breakout year this year?
Well, I don't know about breakout year because technically he's a rookie. But right now, Donovan Easy is looking just incredible as a pass rusher. And I know we all focus in on like one play. You see one bad play about a guy, you say he's a bust and stuff. But consistently, he is coming out of the box and he is just looking phenomenal. And I'm going to tell you, a guy who had 15 and a half sacks in last year in college, getting here in the NFL, having Micah Parsons on the other side once they finally get him there, will create a lot of mismatches. You're laughing and all that. We all know.
Wait. Let me ask you. Do you think
I like the kid?
Do you think you'll have a better tandem of edge rushers with that kid and Parsons than the Eagles will with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith?
Yes.
Philly?
Without a doubt.
No.
He's going to say no to everything.
No, but I've said it consistently all season, Sills. What have I said? They're not going to miss a beat. Nolan Smith, he had a breakout in the playoffs. I really believe in Jalix Hunt. But to me, where I think the Eagles are going to really be strong is I think that interior of that line is going to open up opportunities. Jordan Davis, look, say what you want about Jordan Davis, but he's in shape. He's taking more reps. And if he can improve his game even a little bit and get more snaps, I think that's a force with him and Jalen Carter. I do. So I like our line.
Couple last ones here for you guys. Okay, so we would agree with this then. Nakobe Dean is out because to me, you're going to if Jihad Campbell starts the season at inside linebacker and he looks like everything that we're looking at what he's going to do in camp, and you got him next to Zach Bond.
Yeah,
I'm not taking that guy out, putting Dean back in there.
No. Do you see how big that guy is? He's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Can I tell you this? Is this a crazy Zach Bond? And I'll tell you why. The focus is going to be on Zach Bond, dude. And, he's going to get more of the single blocking than the more of the double teaming that you're going to get. And so they're going to be circling Zach Bond. You really don't know what you're going to get with this kid yet.
Yeah.
And he's an athlete. You get more versatility with those two dudes on the field than you do, I think, with Nakobe and Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I like Nakobe a lot. But, I mean, first of all, Wednesday, we don't even know when he's coming back. So, it could be a really hard situation. And like I said before, Trotter is having a really good camp as well. So they've got depth there. And I do wonder how it's going to change or play out when Nakobe comes back. That we'll have to wait and see.
So, Mark, you're telling me that Eagle fans come onto your channel and they go onto your network and take a shit on you? Is that why?
Oh, my
God.
Right? They live here. I mean, like right now I got Logan Motorsport. I got Philadelphia in here. I've got, I could just go down the line, man. It's crazy, but it's okay, because rule number one of social media is to get people to watch. And, if Eagle fans want to come in here and take a dump on me and stuff, I don't care if people laugh with me or laugh at me. As long as you're laughing, I'm doing my job. And
Philly, what?
I'm just happy that we're here with the opportunity to play against the world champions.
So full of shit.
Oh, Philly, why?
I'm so full of it. He's so full of it. Dude,
where are you buying any of this?
Because I've known Mark too long. I've watched too many years of how he does things. He likes to put out the stuff. He'll do a video, Dak this, and then he takes like 2 minutes to shit on like the Eagles or Hurts, and then he gets offended when people respond, and then he's like, "Oh, what was me?" He's full of it. I know his game.
I'm smiling. I'm happy in things, man. What do you listen? I'm here. I bet you the comments are nothing but shitting on Mark Holmes on your channel right now.
Oh,
and I'm still smiling. Look, I'm happy. I'm happy as can be. It don't bother me. And
Billy, I've learned one thing about you. Every time this guy comes on the channel, man, you fucking totally hate the Cowboys more when you leave this thing.
I can't. I do. I can't. I'm just sitting there realizing I just hate that team more and more. Jerry's uglier. I hate Micah more. I hope Dak throws 90
you know why
interceptions.
You hate us more there, buddy.
I just hate it because you guys
and think, God, I want to be that
you
guy.
think you're something. No, because you're living it 30 years ago, and you guys remained 30 years ago, and time has passed you
when
by.
You're almost 60,
championships have passed you by.
When you're almost 60, you know, it's all part of your life and growing up, man.
I know. Well, it's not even so much you, but over half your fan base never seen your team in the NFC Championship game. Ever.
I didn't realize that Mark Holmes was part Italian. Well, he's got an Italian sub sandwich over there, and he's going like this, my Italian sub sandwich. It's glad to know that. Well, you know, I've got many family members in my family, Mark, that kind of resemble. They're big. They look like you. So, I mean, I'm glad to find out that you're part Italian here, man.
I thought he was taking a shot at me when he said that. I didn't.
Actually, that was a Jason Garrett quote, okay? Because he said, it'll make you throw up your Italian sandwich.
There's another one. Another one. Jason Garrett.
All right. Hey,
Jason Garrett. Now look, you hear their coach? Their coach thinks he's Nick Sirianni. The biggest Nick Sirianni wannabe I've ever heard in my life.
What are you talking about? He's not a punk ass like Nick Sirianni.
We're competitive. We're going to be competitive. We're going to go bold. We're going to do this, and I'm breaking up fights. Get the hell out. You guys trying to sound like Nick Sirianni.
Oh, no. So what? You think he's copying Nick?
I think I think the Cowboys are trying to copy the Eagles 100%.
You wish.
I know for a fact.
Okay.
Just listen.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I wish you copy your GM. How about that?
Hey, how about you get Micah Parsons? I mean, this is a team can't even sign Micah Parsons. He's going into last year's contract. They don't even sign him. Why would we even put that team on the same level as the Eagles? Remember, this is a team.
Do they sign him by the end of camp?
They will. It'll be signed probably about the 14th
This is a team
of
Still,
August.
you remember a year ago when Mark said, "Oh, the Eagles are going to lose. They're going to lose. They can't win the playoffs." They got Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator. Do you remember that? Kellen Moore. That's the whole reason why Dak couldn't win the playoffs. What does Jalen do? Go and he wins the Super Bowl.
But let me ask you a real question, though. What did Kellen Moore do that you can say, "Oh my God, thank God we got Kellen Moore"? That he put a stamp on that team that said, "Oh my God, the innovation that Kellen Moore brought here."
To your point, wait a minute. He improved Saquon Barkley. He didn't improve her.
So he doesn't do anything for the Eagles, but he does everything to hurt Dak Prescott. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, he didn't do anything to improve Jalen Hurts.
What do you mean? He won a Super Bowl with him? How could you say that?
And a 2,000-yard rusher.
Okay, and what else? Jalen Hurts still made plays. He still came up big when he had to. He might not have thrown 40 times, but he made
for being such an expert. You don't seem to understand.
Mark, are you still going to die on that hill that you think that Dak's better than Jalen?
Yes, I am.
Guy's nuts.
Yes, I will.
See,
and
my hate for Dallas
you're up on that hill too,
again.
there, Sil.
Hey,
you know you're up on there too. Okay.
I can't wait for this.
Dak Prescott. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when he doesn't deliver again? Is this going to be the year to say, Mark, all I want from Mark, everything would stop.
One last thing here.
It would all stop, Sills, if Mark just said this.
Mark.
Dak, you've got to step up big time.
Ended his career this year.
Okay. You know what? That's all I got to do to make it stop? That's
Mark.
Wait. Hold it.
Came up short in the playoffs.
Are you saying that if I say that right now, all this bullshit's going to stop.
If you say,
you know what,
Dak Prescott has to step up big time and be better than he has been.
You know what?
He's been part of the problem.
100%.
I won't say nothing.
Dak Prescott has to definitely step up and be even better than what he has done in the past. Now, yes, that's it. I agree.
No, you have to give him some blame for the past playoff.
I have given him some blame for the past playoffs.
I've never heard it. Get the wax out your ear, jackass. My ears were open.
If he ended his career right now, Dak Prescott would be what in Dallas Cowboy history?
Tony Romo 2.0.
Is that good?
Well, some people think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't.
Would he be better than Would he be better than Romo? I'm asking number
both
wise.
have two playoff wins, so you tell me. And their numbers are almost identical.
I think he's 3,500 yards away from Romo.
Yeah, and 40 TDs.
How many more years?
Romo had
14. Did Romo play like 14 years like that?
Romo played 13 years with Dallas?
Yes.
Well, part of it was sitting on the bench, but still.
Hey, remember, though, he was a UDFA too, Philly.
Right.
So you have to take – he overachieved like a maniac in Dallas.
He's a choker,
Dak was a fourth-round draft pick.
He's a choker. Dak's a choker. Dallas a choker.
Think about this. That's pretty interesting, man, that you think that Dallas didn't use a one in any of those guys, and those guys have thrown for 70,000 yards.
You know what the most tragic part of it is? That they didn't have to spend that capital on first-round draft picks or multiple ones on it. And instead of taking those years that were dirt cheap and going out in free agency, that they wasted it. That's the most tragic part about it.
That's true.
That's right. They wasted that equity.
You literally had Dak Prescott for $680,000 a year for 3 years and did nothing to go ahead and try and
look what the Eagles did with a second-round pick. I mean,
here's your problems right there.
Philly, think about what the quarterback position has been the last, 6 years in Philly now. Get this. So they move off of Wentz. They move Wentz. Listen here, Mark. They move him to Indianapolis. Those draft picks, one of those picks is Jalen Carter that they got back in return. They've got Jalen Hurts on top of that, too. And in that process, the 18th pick in 22, they used to get AJ coming back over. So, I mean, you just said, Mark, they utilize Hurts being a 2 and a second rounder and draft picks and equity for them to be able to build their team around it. Dallas missed the boat there on that.
Without a doubt. But, hey, at least we're talked about.
Wow, that's great. Hey, Mark, enjoy your vacation. Tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
Joe Boo Sports Report and every social media platform you can think of. And, of course, underneath Dan Selio's foot here on Wednesdays at 4:30.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I'm going to tell you, man. You two guys, I mean, no matter who it is. Last week, by the way, I'm going to leave this with you here. You guys are killer, man. I'm going to say this to you, Philly. Did you see that video we had of Merrill Reese?
Yeah.
Merrill Reese got this. Get this, Mark. So Merrill Reese he showed us the ring and all, and the great quote by Nick, whatever. It's okay, the wings flop out, and he's like doing that. I
love that. I love that.
It's like
Green Lantern, baby.
Hey, it's like Confucius Sirianni. It's right there.
I like that ring.
Anyway, the cleat. Jalen Hurts walks up to Merrill Reese, the longtime voice. He's like the Brad Sham for the Cowboys, right? He signs down there. He goes, "When no one else believed me, you were the only one to believe in me." Gave him a pair of these Jordans. Pretty cool, man. Really cool. Thing. Yeah.
And you know what Dak was doing at that time? He was riding a horsey. You see him riding a horsey in practice?
A horsey?
Yeah. Go horsey riding, Dak.
Tell folks where they can find you, Philly.
Just type in Philly.500, or you could even type in Mark Holmes because he's always playing me on his channel as well.
Oh, my God. I love you guys. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. You guys are awesome.
It.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Great stuff as always, man. Absolutely, man. I give it to Mark. I give him a ton of credit. You know what? we must give that guy agita. And for all you Italians, and now that I found out that Mark's Italian, agita is like heartburn.
Okay.
Yeah, you know who Mark looks like? Mark looks like my Uncle Rocky. My Uncle Rocky looks like Mark. Yeah, no, he's like great complexion. My Uncle Rocky used to look like that. And he goes, "That's your uncle?" I go, "That's my grandpa."
Okay.
Right. Holy cow. Mark must have been a fast guy because Jerome Brown said this, Mark. I'll tell you this.
Uh-oh, what's this?
Selio, there's no way you're a white guy. White guys don't run that fast. Here, I go, I'm Italian. What do you want? How you doing? All right. Okay. I love both those guys, man. Make sure you check out Mark's channel. He is spectacular. And I'm sure there'll be 1,000 videos of all of you Eagle fans. And all
right, we're going to end it right there. So, shout out to the Jacob Sports for having me on Wednesday, or should I say skewering me on Wednesday. The confidence of the Eagle fans is just unbelievable. But if they end up starting out like they usually do, because again, they started out 2-4 last year, the Cowboys could jump on them. And they are having problems in their secondary, and their offense isn't quite there just yet. So, maybe, hey, Rhonda, what's up? Help me, Rhonda. Holly Pierce in the house. What's going on? I think I saw Tay Cowboys. We got Eagle fans galore in here. What's up, Chris May? Jimbo's in the house. Let's see. Who else? Oh, Tiara. Shout out to Tiara. Welcome back. So, anyway, we are going to go through and find out everything that's happening in training camp right now. We do know that there was another fight in practice, and Brian Schottenheimer said, enough of this bull jiggity. He ended up kicking out the offensive tackle who was fighting and made the team run. And I'm going to tell you, you hate to run in full pads. There's nothing you hate to do more than sprints. Now, they just went one sideline. They didn't do gassers, which is sideline to sideline and back. So maybe next time, make them do gassers. All right, you good people, as always, thank you all so much for watching and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I am out of here.